Hey everyone, how are you? Sorry, I'm going to be doing my makeup once again as I stream because I have to be to work in a couple hours. So, let me see. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late starting too. But would I be me if I was on time? Like, really? Let me see something here. Settings, camera, audio. All right. Hey everyone. Hi, Autistic Show. Seems like you're the only one here right now. I really got to start planning shit out better. Well, oh well. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Wait for people to get here. And again, if you're watching me do the makeup, don't look to me for tips. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really care. As long as I'm happy with the end result, that's all I give a shit about, really. So don't come here looking for tips because I ain't got it. Now. And is that it? Is that all I need? I don't even know. I don't even know what I wear, really. Not all that much, I don't think. Okay. Hi, Nikki. Listening while at work. Well, I hope it helps make work go by a little faster, better for you. I wish I could listen to shit at work. My old job, I could, because I didn't really deal with customers all too much, so it was easier to just listen to shit. But I can't do it with my new one. What the hell? Where's that brush thing? Oh, there it is. Okay. I hope everyone's Thursday is going well. One second. I'm just waiting for people to come in, a few more people, and then I'll get started. Hey, Kimberly Ann. Okay, I'm going to start just a second. Let me get this one done. I'm not very good at drawing, so I need all the steady hand support I can create for myself. I gotta say though, I love this eyebrow shit. I don't even know who or what it is. What's this? It says NYX. Professional makeup. I don't know what it is. But that and this shit, but I wish I got in a lighter shade. The You Unbelieve brow from, I think it's L'Oreal. This shit's awesome. Okay, so I'm sure, I don't know, maybe by now some of you have seen Nonsense's latest redundant video she made in my honor. I don't know. I just feel like it's just, she repeated the same shit, and now I'm going to be repeating the same shit I've said already a couple times probably, because it's like, I don't understand what part of the comprehension is proven to be too difficult, but something is clearly not connecting there. So I'm not going to keep going on and on about this. But this shit's good too. I don't even know what it is. Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. I don't know. I like it. It's like mascara for the eyebrow. Okay. Done with that part. Okay, so let me get started. Let me make room for myself. Okay. Pause. Thank you. My computer is running very slow. Like, it's not slow. It's running speed wise, okay, but it's like every command is just like delayed by like 2 seconds, and it's annoying. It's delayed 2 seconds on top of the already delay that it has just naturally. Because that's apparently what happens with an iMac after you've owned it for like 2 weeks. I've owned it for several years, but you get the point. All right, so we'll start about there. Let me check chat before we go on. Hi, Michigan Wifey. Okay.
If it's too EKC, I got to be in true EKC fashion and ignore the entire chat the entire time and just talk to myself. Just kidding. Those are jokes. Anyways, okay. All right. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen here. One of the things I did want to...
Apparently, that bothers them when I do this. I don't know why. This is like the second time that I've heard a remark like that. But I don't see anything wrong with that because, like, I'm trying to present something. I'm trying to explain or something, or just I'm trying to put forth an image or whatever. And I don't want to be distracted while I'm doing that. But I want people to be able to interact. So I do it and say what I have to say. Then I go and check chat, and then I address chat. I'm sorry that I choose to prioritize my attention that way, I guess. I don't know. But I can't really multitask all that well. So I can't really do what I want to do, say what I want to say, and not be distracted by things I'm reading and that are directed to me for the purpose of me reading and possibly answering. So maybe that's my fault, but, you know, I got to do what works for me. So
you first watch because I enjoyed it absolutely so much.
What is this in here?
And I think it's this one. So we're going to go to this one first, okay? All right. And we're going to play, actually, nope, not that one. Hold on.
Do this.
It's this one, I think. Now, the first one I would like to point out is gave me a really good chuckle. And so I figured we could probably start off with a good chuckle because who doesn't love a good chuckle? Okay. All right. So when the allegation was made that that EKC also believes that she is a keyboard gangster, warrior, whatever you would like to call, this was her response to it. And I personally chuckled. So I felt like I could share it with you guys and chuckle away with me. Okay. All right. We're actually going to rewind this one, 218, 418. All right. Here we go. We'll start here.
I mean, I don't think she got skinny.
Pretty sure you've been up on panel quite a few people too that you would not appreciate the comparison to in terms of behavior. I just want to point that out. Though I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not gangster. My God, that just sounds so fucking wrong coming out of my mouth.
I thought that was pretty funny. I also agree that her saying she's gangster was pretty funny, and she tried. So she gets an A for effort there. But yeah, that I thought was funny. Anyways, we will move along though.
I'm a middle-aged, somewhat suburban white woman. I'm not gangster. I'm not. I mean, I'm definitely soccer mom tough though.
So moving right along, she goes in to say, so they've accused her of being on panel with Molly and agreeing with something. So
in public, I'm on a panel. Sure, I get you there. But nonetheless, that's what I said. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie. It's true. I have heard some of the things that were mentioned.
Okay, so let's go back to what exactly was mentioned. EKC,
yeah, what exactly?
These are the things that you say you've heard were mentioned, right? And we just want to keep it as factual as possible, of course. So the thing that you agreed with hearing at that point in time, let's go listen to it.
I don't think you should be around children, sweetheart. Keep her away from children. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of heard the same shit about her too. I don't know.
I kind of heard the same shit about her too.
Now, they're right there. That's just some dishonest shit. That is manipulative. That's just some shady ass shit. Because that's not all that was said. There was a whole fucking like paragraph before that. In fact, where does she have that on? Can I see the timestamp? I don't know. It's right around there. Um, okay, there we go. Okay. All right, let me share screen.
Time ago.
Yeah.
For this time. No way. No way.
I don't care what that imbecile over there says. I really don't care what that imbecile over there says. How about you get a real job? It won't be with CPS now, will it? Because you're not allowed. I don't think that you should be around children, sweetheart. Keep her away from children. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of heard the same shit about her too. You left out the whole beginning of that. And I personally think that that's important because really that's more along the lines of what I was referencing. I don't know if she should be around children. I don't really care. I don't see any cause for concern, like right off the bat. But I was referencing other shit. And had you played the whole thing and provided context, well, then that would have been heard and understood. You know, that I could have meant anything that was said, sure. But that's the whole point of me not specifying that, because I don't want to contribute to something that could be untrue. But the fact remains is whether it's true or not, I have had people reach out to me to tell me things. So I have heard things. That doesn't mean that they're true. That doesn't mean that I even think that they're true. That just means I've heard things. That's exactly what I said. Like, here, let me play this shit again for you. I don't know.
Wait, you're not allowed. I don't think that you should be around children, sweetheart. Keep her away from children. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of heard the same shit about her too. I don't know. I kind of heard the same shit about her too. I don't know. Is my exact words. I'm not even giving any kind of inclination, impression, or anything of whether or not I believe what I heard. So I don't see where you can just take away from that me saying I said these things, because clearly I didn't. But that doesn't fit your narrative. I don't know. So be it. I have no expectation or no plans to discuss any of the things I've heard or whatever, because there's no point. There's no need to. So I don't even see why this is such a big fucking deal. People talk shit about people all the time. People reach out to me all the time and tell me things about other people. They're not always true. So, and I realize this, but you can't control that. So I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, moving on. So clear that up again.
Okay, so now if we heard that it's not safe for you to be around children, that should absolutely be something that we confirm.
I gotta say though, this is kind of telling, because I did not say that. I did not say that, but you're taking that away from what it is you heard. Why are you focusing on that part of it? Like that part of it wasn't even in my mind, but now it is. Now it fucking is. Good job.
For somebody else, is that what we're doing here? Because honestly, I actually thought that you were a little bit better than that. Clearly, maybe I was wrong, which is absolutely something that can happen. But I am so absolute confused because then I noticed that in another one of your streams, again, just to be factual, not more than about 2 minutes after this, I believe it was. Let's go to it. Give me a second. You were upset with B. Tim and Nick and Steve because they made a comment. Hold on. Can we share this one? Here we go.
In the terms of another content creator making a video about this, trying to brandish someone as a liar when she didn't even bother to reach out to the people on stream to confirm anything. She just heard what she heard. And she ran with it. God damn it. What did I do? Oops, sorry. Oh, why did I mute that? My bad. Bother to reach out to the people on stream to confirm anything.
Oh.
She just heard what she heard.
Oh.
And she ran with it.
Yeah, that's terrible to
I don't
do.
know. I feel like as a content creator, especially if you're going to be putting shit out on other people in terms of their reputation, their credibility, I do feel like there should be the standard for due diligence should be just a little higher than that.
Now that is interesting. Did y'all hear that? Did you see that? Because it actually sounds like she says, before you go off and repeat something that you've heard, you have to do your due diligence before you go, if it's going to impact somebody's credibility or reliability, or even.
That would be exactly why I did not repeat what it is I've heard. And I did not state anything as fact. I did not run with it. I just simply said, I've heard some of the same things. I've heard it. I've heard it. Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's fucking true. Just because someone hears something being said doesn't make it true. But by all means, you keep assuming that that's what it means. I mean, maybe that's the problem here. Maybe it's the comprehension that's an issue here. I don't know.
Even there, I don't think she said reputation, so that may not be the word. That's what I heard.
Find it.
So I'm confused, AKC. Which is it? You need to actually confirm allegations that you hear, or only when it applies to other people? Because from what I hear, and again, I'm newer to YouTube, so I may be totally off here. Okay, but I've heard that one, it's receipts or it didn't happen, and two, I've also heard that there's a lot of people, and maybe you're one of those people, maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard that it's like a rules for thee and not for me. So you want Tiger Talks in this case because that's who did this video that you're.
That's kind of telling.
That Queen Bee and them were reviewing, you want Tiger Talks to follow these rules where she shouldn't say something about Veda.
Tiger Talks. Who the fuck is Tiger Talks? What are you even talking about there? I wasn't even talking about Tiger Talks. I was talking about Kathy P when I was saying that. Who the fuck is Tiger Talks? I was talking about Kathy P with her taking what was said on a stream about who the phone call was to, and then running with that with such fact when it clearly there was a lot of room for misinterpretation or miscommunication, misunderstanding, whatever. It wasn't clear. And rather than just confirm something, she ran with it to the point where she called a medical examiner's office and asked if a Mike or fucking Frank or whatever worked there. That was what I was talking about. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't even want to know. It's a redundant question. Don't answer.
Heard. B. Tim shouldn't say something about Veda that he's heard. Nick shouldn't say something about Veda that he has heard because they didn't confirm it or do their due diligence, and by them insinuating that she lied, or by them insinuating that she's done something that she has not done that could harm her in some way, whether it be her credibility or reputation, whatever the case may be. And you just said though that let me back it up. Hold on. Maybe I heard you wrong. I'm gonna go back. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's try.
She's just going through a list of people that they called.
Mm-hmm.
She's not saying that this call in particular is that particular office. Though it's a moot argument I think I'm making here because they did say that it was this office. And they said it was this office when it was neither office and it was actually a funeral home. I can see people's confusion there. Mm-hmm. My problem, though, what I wanted to point out was in the terms of another content creator making a video about this, trying to brandish someone as a liar when she didn't even bother to reach out to the people on stream to confirm anything. She just heard what she heard. Mm-hmm. She ran with it.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like as a content creator, especially if you're going to be putting shit out on other people, and maybe you should actually listen to the things being said and apply them in the context rather than just focusing on your little sound effects, you know? In terms of their reputation, their credibility, I do feel like there should be the standard for due diligence should be just a little higher than that.
Let me go back. I must have heard the first one wrong. Let me go back to that one. I do apologize for having to return to it because there's no fucking way that the same exact person just is. There's just no way. I don't understand. Here we go.
What that imbecile over there says. I really don't care what that imbecile over there says. How about you get a real job? It won't be with CPS now, will it? Because you're not allowed. I don't think that you should be around children, sweetheart. Keep her away from children. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of heard the same shit about her too. That's weird that time though you played more of the start of that conversation. That's interesting. So I don't know.
Yeah, a long time ago. I don't remember who told me that, but it was before y'all even knew. Someone else told me.
Oh, interesting. That sounds like that's something that's unconfirmed that you've only heard. And I would say saying somebody shouldn't even be around children is a pretty damaging claim to make that you heard.
I don't know how to tell you this, okay? But those words didn't come out of my mouth. They came out of Molly's mouth. If you have an issue with what Molly said, then by all means, take it up with Molly. However, I did not say those words, nor was I even agreeing with those words. I just simply said I heard some of the same shit too. That's all I said. Why are you trying to turn this into something else? Like, are you that hard up to brandish me a liar or something? I don't know what else to say here, because it's very odd. I'm not the one who said it. And I made no reference on what Molly had said. I did not give any inclination that I agreed or disagreed. I just simply said I heard some of the same shit too. I don't know.
Without doing your due diligence to confirm. Okay. Whew. That's not a good look.
Oh, I confirmed?
Anywho,
please tell me where the fuck I confirmed that. Where did you hear me say I concur or I confirm or I agree? Where was that confirmed? But it's really telling that you have this confirmed. You have it, this impression, this interpretation that this has been confirmed. Why is that, Nunya?
Right along to some of your other claims. Let's close those one out because we're done with those. Okay. All right. So that's that one. I just found it very interesting that that's, kind of where you chose to go with that one, but it's all good. I wanted to go back to something that you had said the other day, but let me go. This one.
Let's see how you get this one wrong too.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're going to get to that one too. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to go to this one. Okay. Let's.
Interesting. So I went back to the stream she is referencing here because when I did my stream, I didn't know for sure who it is they spoke to, but I knew it was not the medical examiner's office.
How'd you know that?
I knew this because there's one specific point in this phone call. And I even pointed this out when I spoke of it on my stream because the phone call, the person who's speaking to this office or whatever, they clearly state, they start going on to explain to the other person how they spoke to, how they called the medical examiner's office. And so obviously they're not speaking to the medical examiner's office.
Obviously.
Why did they call up the medical examiner's office to tell them about how they called the medical?
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, EKC. You are so right. Why would somebody say they were calling the medical examiner's office to talk with, or to say that they've already talked with the medical examiner's office? I thought the same exact crazy thing, right? But you know what's funny is, can you tell me why somebody would ask a funeral home, because then this turned into the funeral home, right? Can you tell me why you would ask a funeral home, have they already conducted an autopsy? Are they going to conduct an autopsy? Something along those lines. Can you tell me that? Because that wouldn't make sense in that same phone call.
Well, I don't know why you think I can answer that. I mean, I clearly don't work in a medical examiner's office or a coroner's office or whatever. But if you want me to venture a guess, I can try. I'm thinking that while talking to a funeral home, which is where they were talking to, that reminds me, the most important part I got to cover here, but I'll do that in just a second. Please don't let me forget, Chad. To venture a guess, I'm guessing that they asked the funeral home this because, well, they had access to the body, so they would probably be able to tell if an autopsy was done. I'm thinking that kind of leaves behind some sort of evidence of having happened. Or maybe if there hadn't been one done and there were going to be one done and it was known, well, I'm thinking the funeral home might want to know about this before they do any of the stuff to the body that they do to it. That would stand to reason, I think. However, again, I don't work in these offices. So by all means, call one of these offices and ask them because they're the ones who would know this. But that's what I would conclude anyways. If I had to think about it and use my logic and common sense, that's where I land. Now, most important part here that I want to cover real quick, I'm going to have to rewind. Oh, shit, damn it. I guess I'm in my eye now. Oh, fuck. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So, most important part. Okay. Where is it? So we're going to rewind this here. This is what I find to be the most fucking telling.
But nah, I'm good. That's number one. Again, I appreciate. Direct message. So over it. All right. So let me start off my direct message to EKC of EKC people suck, because they do. And some more than others, some better than others. Anywho, while I appreciate your kind words that you've been giving out this week and your invitation that you gave out this week, I do decline the invitation graciously.
Of course you do.
I don't maintain that type of character to do such a thing as to call and get into somebody's business in that capacity. So again, I appreciate you being willing to offer that information.
I never said you had to call anyone. You could just listen to it. Just listen to it. That's all you need to do. And however, you want to sit here and say, that's not something I care to do, is call up. No, instead, you just care to run your own narrative here and say, oh, it hasn't been confirmed. Because why is that? Really? Why is that? Why are you so vested in people not knowing that this man passed away? Why are you so vested in preventing their mourning of this man? Why are you so vested in preventing any sorrow or remembrance or honor that comes from knowing this man had passed away? Why do you want to stop that for him? Why do you want to stop that for the people who knew him or cared about him or just got to know him through videos, whatever? Why? Why are you trying to muddy the waters here around this man? Why? And then when offered a chance for you to even learn if what you're doing is correct or not, no, that's not what I want to do. I'm not a part of that. That's not stuff I do. Well, let me tell you something here. I might be more inclined to believe that that's not something that you would do if there wasn't already something you've been doing, because that's exactly what you've been doing. Only you haven't bothered to put any effort into knowing if what you're doing is correct. So I don't really get it. Unless, of course, it's not that you want to be correct or you want to be right. You just don't want Molly to be right. You just want to shut that shit down. And, well, learning the truth might kind of put a hindrance in those plans, wouldn't it? But more importantly, though, this ain't about you, right? It's not about me. It's about, in my opinion, it's about those who knew and cared for Marwan, his family. I'd even say a lot of the faithful followers and viewers that they've had over the years. Like, I think they have a right to know? Are they owed anything? No. But I understand their desire to know. And I don't know. And that's who I would like to clear that shit up for. That's who I would like to let know whether or not they should mourn his passing. I don't know why you want to stop that for them. And it's not even that you want to stop it for them. You just want to prolong the wondering. Because you're not trying to confirm that what was said is a lie. You're just trying to throw enough seeds of doubt into it so people just are more confused than ever. That's fucked up. But of course you denied my offer. Of course you did. Of course. I forgot where I left off.
Okay. And then I also, again, because I think you may just be misinformed. Maybe you don't watch Veda streams. I don't know about you. My friends, I watch their streams. But, we all have different lives and different schedules.
It was before y'all even knew. Someone else told me.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's Kathy P's stream of this stream, right? And in this stream is where the allegation was that it was the medical examiner. Excuse me, actually, it was the coroner's office. And then you said, of course, it was the coroner's office, not the medical examiner's office. Kathy P called the medical examiner's office. Then I did a video for you to clear up that the medical examiner's office and the coroner's office are the same exact thing. Oops, you're bad. Okay. And then you're like, well, as I originally thought, this was the funeral home. Duh, guys. Okay, cool. So this call that they're already playing during this stream, your claim right now is
right
this was the funeral home. Please hold.
Everybody's dirty down here. We've been born and raised at.
All right, so I'm still back here. My bad.
I don't think that you should be around children, sweetheart. Yeah.
Interesting. See, damaging claim. Moving right along to some of your other claims. That's kind of where you chose to go with that one, but it's all good. To this one.
Dream she is referencing here.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I did my stream, I didn't know for sure who it is they spoke to, but I knew it was not the medical examiner's office.
How'd you know that?
I knew this because there's one specific point in the phone call. And I even pointed to this disclosure office.
Easiest thing to talk. I thought the same exact crazy thing. Funeral home. See something also again because I think you may just be misinformed. Maybe you don't watch Veda streams. I don't know about you. My friends, I watch their streams, but you know we all have different lives and different schedules and stuff like that. I always try and watch their replays if I can't do that. That's the great thing about YouTube. But it is very clear to me that you're going like white knight for Veda and white knight for Molly right now, and it's not a good look because you keep.
Why is it that you're saying that like it's a negative thing? It's a demeaning thing to speak on behalf of your friends or colleagues. I mean, that's not what I'm doing, but if it were, so what? What is so fucking wrong with that? Why are you like so offended by that? But regardless, you can try to disparage my actions all you want. I don't really care. Like I care what you think. But what I'm doing doesn't have to do with Vada or Molly exactly. It's not on behalf of just my liking them. It's on behalf of what I've witnessed and what I've seen and what I know to be right and wrong. I mean, there are things that probably both of them have done. Well, I know that there are things that I haven't spoken up on because I don't agree or I don't fully agree or whatever, it's non-factor. But if it's something that I do care about and it's something that I see and I see some bullshit going on, I'm going to speak up regardless of who that is. In fact, if there was some bullshit going on being said about you and I were there and I cared, I would speak up on that. And it sure as hell isn't because like I have any kind of affection towards you. God, no. But it's because I care that shit doesn't get misrepresented. I mean, it's not white knighting. That's, I don't know, just caring. Sorry, you don't.
Getting caught up in all these things that you think you know and you have no idea. So let me go to another part why this didn't make sense. Okay. All right. So let's go to, give me just a moment here. Okay. All right. So this one I'm going to play. And let's see. This one. All right. Okay. Let's play what they say. Give me just a second, Casey. Hang in there. Okay. Hope you're having a good time. All right. One thing I will say is please don't attack looks in my chat. I'm not a fan of that. I don't get down like that. So please be respectful. That's all that I'm going to ask. Thank you. Here we go.
Every occasion, I can't do none of that because I don't know where he at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all the way in Savannah, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And he in Arizona. His body don't deserve.
Oh, wait. I need to pause. I need to give some backstory because you guys may not know it. And I absolutely want EKC to have all the backstory. This is the same exact stream that you were reviewing. Well, it's Kathy P's stream of this stream, right? And in this stream is where the allegation was that it was the medical examiner. Excuse me, actually, it was the coroner's office. And then you said, of course, it was the coroner's office, not the medical examiner's office. Kathy P called medical examiner's office. Then I did a video for you to clear up that the medical examiner's office and the coroner's office are the same exact thing. Oops, you're bad. Okay. And then you're like, well, as I originally thought, this was the funeral home.
Yeah, and I covered that. I came right out and said I should have listened to more of the stream. I should have clarified things. I should have looked into things more. That was my mistake. That was my bad. And then, yeah, I pointed out how my initial belief or conclusion, assumption, whatever, was actually correct. So, but I want to also point out here and say that the coroners and medical examiners are not the same thing. For granted, not every county has both. Some counties would have one or the other rather than just, one specific one or both. But a medical examiner is a position that requires a medical degree, where a coroner does not. So, I mean, I guess a medical examiner could technically be a coroner because, he'd be overqualified, I think, for that. But chances are he'd get hired as a medical examiner because why not? But a coroner without a medical license can't work as a medical examiner because they don't have a medical degree or whatever license. I don't know if it's license or degree. Not sure actually now that I think about it, because those are two different things, but it's at least a degree, possibly even a license. So they're not the same thing. Now, even first of all, the information that was shared when discussing these things being the same thing was for the wrong county. I want to just point that out. However, for the correct county, it's not much different. But except for one thing, really, well, actually, both counties do this. They don't call the medical examiner's office the coroners. They just point out, if you do a Google search using the word coroner, that they're one and the same in this county. But that's it. They don't call it the county coroner. They call it the county medical examiner. but I digress. Either way, I did take ownership for my just not fully looking into this and just going along with what I heard on the stream. I do take ownership for that. But after that, I did then confirm. I reached out to the people on the stream there and confirmed it with them. And I've got all the confirmation I needed. And I was willing, and I still am willing and more than happy to pass it along to you guys. But naturally, of course, you guys don't want it because, well, that's going to hinder your narrative now, won't it? So weird. So, but yeah, I took ownership for that and then I corrected it. Thank you.
Guys. Okay, cool. So this call that they're already playing during this stream, you're playing right now, is this was the funeral home. Please hold.
Everybody dirty down here. We've been born and raised at.
Which I want to just say this here. You know, it's nobody likes admitting they're wrong or whatever. They got something wrong. Of course not. I'm no different than anyone else. I don't exactly like it either. But I'd much rather admit it than push false information. I'm happy to just get shit right when I do get shit right. Can we say the same about you? I mean, I'm genuinely asking because, like, I'm sure, I mean, I don't listen to you all that much. So I'm sure that there are probably examples of you possibly admitting to fault. But, like, I can think of one such example where I have yet to hear anything. Now, for granted, maybe I missed it, but I don't know. But it was when you were in my chat there. And I had Goose up on panel, and Vanna had been up too, but then she stepped down. And you kept insisting how in live streams or whatever of recent streams, like within days of this, that Nonsense never said that Vanna was passing around emails or seeing emails with her personal information on it. No, you said she never said that. She said that Vanna was involved in things behind the scenes or whatever. Or no, Goose. I'm sorry, not Vanna. Goose. It's been a while. The claim was that Nonsense accused Goose of having seen emails being passed around that included Nonsense's personal information. And you kept saying, no, Nonsense never said that. Nonsense just said that Goose has been involved in things behind the scenes. But then I pulled up a stream like from just like a couple of days prior to my live stream in question here, where Nonsense clearly stated exactly that Goose had been privy to, had seen these emails with her personal information on it. So you were clearly wrong there. I'm curious. Have you ever corrected that? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm genuinely asking.
Yeah.
What you got to say, Veda?
Well, I know that he hasn't been cremated yet, and I know that the coroner had told me that his part is completed. So now he's been transferred to the funeral home for services. So that's where they're at now. So just trying to figure out which funeral home he's at and what they're planning to do is our next step.
Just have to figure out what funeral home he's at. A pre-recorded phone call that they're playing on this stream was already made to the funeral home.
Like, did you listen to this stream? Did you listen to that entire phone call? Because clearly the funeral home / crematorium that they were speaking with said that the body was no longer there. So it sounds to me, now, again, I'm just using my common sense here, okay? But it sounds to me like the county of the one that they called in was possibly not the county where services or where the final resting place was going to be. Because, like, remember, Dre didn't live in the same county as his hospital, right? So it sounds to me like this was because there was no need for an autopsy or any shit like that. It went to a funeral home and then it was like transferred to where Dre wanted the body. That's what I take away from it, because that can happen when you have someone who passes away outside of like the local area. I mean, that's how it happens, I think. So that's what I take away from it. So, and also this place was a funeral services or something like that, and a crematorium. I don't know. I don't know if maybe this location, this facility just only held the crematorium, but they didn't do the actual services there. Maybe this was like a facility building rather than a customer services building. I don't know. But there's really lots of things that could be the answer for this. Again, these are things you yourself could inquire about, but you don't want to bother.
But she says we just have to figure out what funeral home he's at. Huh. Now that's interesting again. Now I know you're gonna say, "Oh, Veda was just trying to throw people off. Oh, Veda was just
What?
listen, cut the shit. We know,
Where do you get that?
we know,
How do
we
you
know."
get,
And while you think that I should have to do
how do you come to that conclusion, but not a fucking rational one?
all this due diligence to prove your point, wrong answer. Y'all are making a claim and you have no basis to that claim, unfortunately. Your one legitimacy, right, which was this phone call, right? This was like the deal breaker phone call. The dad called here, the dad called there, but no proof of that, right? I mean, we heard before how the dad called a nurse before and she confirmed it for him before. And now here we are hearing again, this nurse
Whoa, whoa,
confirmed it
whoa,
for him
whoa.
again.
No, you didn't. That's not what you heard before. That's absolutely not what you heard before. First of all, you didn't hear shit from the dad regarding that call. At least to my knowledge, you didn't. This came from Justin. And what Justin had said was that Wynette received a text from this nurse saying, "I'm so sorry for your loss," giving out condolences. But we don't know in which context that happened. That was the whole point. We don't know if the context happened because Wynette reached out to the nurse and said, "Hey, have you heard anything?" Or if this nurse reached out to Wynette and said, "Listen, I heard something," because that matters. To me, it does, anyways. Because if the nurse reached out to Wynette, yeah, I would take that to be as more of a confirmation thing. But if Wynette reached out to the nurse, I would take that as just a polite thing, like, and proper etiquette thing, consideration. You say, "I'm so sorry for your loss," because you're being told that this is a possibility. You're not going to want to just, act like it's not. You're going to want to say, "I'm sorry for your loss." So, again, though, I mean, just hearing what you want to hear and just running with it.
And oh, okay. All right. So we've heard that all before. Heard it all before. Okay. All right. I was at work. That wasn't my car. You saw. Anyways, so again, EKC, I want to point out, can you help me understand why they would need to go and find the funeral home, but this is the funeral home on the recording. So while you claimed that myself and
I could help you understand, but I'm not the funeral home. Perhaps you should contact the funeral home and ask them for a definitive answer. I gave you some possibilities, I think, but again, I'm not the funeral home. Now, I could sit here and contact the funeral home and ask these questions, but I don't think that I'm going to receive the answers to these questions, because as this person stated in the phone call, that his father didn't have any legal right to this information. Only his wife does. And I want to point out too that that's not because like anyone gave him up for adoption. It's just because he's an adult male and he's fucking married. So his wife is the power of attorney, or now the executor, however you want to word it. But this is the person who's entitled to this information. Nobody else, by law. And adoption has nothing to do with it. So just whatever. Stop with that bullshit. So I don't think that they're going to tell me the answer to these things either. But you could call up and ask them and say, just in a hypothetical situation, what would be the reason for this or whatever? Again, I don't know if they're going to answer you, but I could call them, sure, and I could ask these questions, and then I could put them up in a stream or whatever, answer your questions, and then I'm going to get to enjoy more fucking streams of you hearing what you want to hear and running with it rather than comprehending what it is I said. I'm good. But again, like I said, the offer to share this information with you is unending, regardless of the situation, regardless of anything that's said or done between now and then. You can have it whenever you want.
other creators did not do their due diligence to watch the entire thing and to listen to the entire thing to get what was happening and what was going on, and using this wonderful thing in between our two ears while you claim that that's what we were doing. I'm going to have to claim the same for you. I'm guessing you didn't watch any of these streams. I'm actually guessing 100% that you got the Cliff Notes version, like the Death Hoax for Dummies Cliff Note version from Veda. I don't know. I don't know how you did it, but you absolutely did not watch this video, or else you wouldn't be spewing all these things. And it's feeling kind of hypocritical.
See, I did watch the streams. And as I listened to the streams, my brain went through my thought processes and already thought of these things. And I came to the conclusions I came to. So I'm like, that was last week, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling like if you're over here telling me that I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do this and I need to do that, I feel like you may need to do something too. Just putting that out there. Okay. All right. Let's move on.
What do I need to do? What I already did?
So hold on. Let's go here. Give me a second. I have to find the timestamp because you have another one. You got one more claim here, and then we'll hang out in the chat for a little bit. Also, I wanted to point out, thank you so much. That was one that I forgot. Hold on.
Me.
Sorry. Pause.
So annoying. I have to curl it again now.
All right, guys. I gotta get this other up. Okay. All right. And we are going to go back. Actually, we're going to take one step back really quickly because remember you said you shouldn't make the claims shouldn't make claims against creators without doing your due diligence and things like that. You know what I mean? So I absolutely just wanted to show this. Let's see.
Thank you for sharing that, Free Spirit. I'm going to read this comment out loud. Free Spirit wrote, I worked hospice 33 years and never in all those years witnessed a wife, one family member, keeping this silent. Usually normal people admittedly calls every person they know and so on. Exactly. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to me to keep this from his family. And that's the whole point. It's the whole point. And it's crazy to me to hear Nunya arguing her doing this or arguing against people questioning her doing this and arguing to keep it still a mystery whether or not he's alive. This is crazy to me. Like, what the fuck did his family do to you, Nunya? Why do you want to see them suffer and wonder so badly? I mean, you're coming at strangers on the fucking internet to try to preserve their time in limbo, not even knowing. You're coming at strangers on the internet to try to prevent them mourning the loss of their son. Who the fuck does that? And you can say what you want. You can fucking try to argue it down to, oh, well, she said this about this fundraiser. She said, fuck you. That doesn't matter. That doesn't make this right. This doesn't make this normal. Why are you arguing this? It's fucked up.
Okay. All right. So just wanted to point this out again. This is not you. This is not you. What I'm saying is maybe all of this vast knowledge that you've got going on right now for you, maybe you could actually share it with your friend potentially. I don't know. I know you have no control over it, but maybe, just a behind the scenes conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I have those all the time, but maybe just a behind the scenes conversation. Like, girl, like, this isn't a good look. You got to stop doing this because you're making me look so stupid when I'm defending you. And then here you are doing the same exact thing I accused them of doing. God, get it together. Just a quick little, quid pro quo kind of conversation. Here you go. Okay. So this is on the date with Molly and Veda. I didn't know that they were dating. I think that's amazing. Good for them. I'm all about love. But here we go. So this was 56 minutes into her stream, and this was her claim.
To where Down the Rabbit Hole, if you don't know who that is, Down the Rabbit Hole News and Nonsense on the Web have made videos discriminating against us, allowing Mr. Marvin Sr. on panel. So I decided to do an early stream today.
Discriminating against us for having somebody on our panel. I think we may need to revisit this really quickly. I think we may need to actually define discrimination because I think that there is some.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you trying to get me to answer for Veda? Are you asking me to defend or explain that? I mean, I don't understand why this is being discussed to me. I don't get it. I mean, if you have questions or an issue with something Veda said, then by all means take it up with Veda. I'm sure that she'd be more than happy to, answer your questions, especially since you guys actually talk, here and there. So, I mean, I don't understand what you think I'm going to say or do here. I mean, I don't even know what this is entailing.
There's just some real big struggles going on here. And so, I'm just going to Google it for you real quick because maybe I have, I don't know. Maybe I have a crazy one. I don't know. So here we go. Discrimination. The unjust or
Are you really reading the definition to the word here? Like, why? What the fuck is this going to tell me? I know what discrimination means. I don't know what was going on Veda's side. I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. What you're trying to point out to me. I don't know. You haven't presented this yet. You're already reading me a definition. What do you just talk to Veda. And I know I call her Veda and Veda. I don't know why I do that. I know.
prejudicial, treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, sex, or disability. So Rabbit, according to the claim that your friend has made, Rabbit and Nonsense were unjust or prejudicial. Oh, they gave, unjust or prejudicial treatment of somebody, which she said, which was her, right? Actually, no, she said of Marvin Sr., due to him coming on her panel. Based off of the grounds of what? Off of what? Okay. The second
maybe
definition shows recognition and understanding.
maybe play more of her fucking clip or play more of her stream. Maybe she fucking explains it. I mean,
The difference between one thing and another. I don't think that's it either. So I'm confused. So again, I want to refer back to your comment where creators should not be making baseless statements on things that they've heard, right? They shouldn't be making baseless statements, right? Isn't that what you said? That could harm somebody's reputation or credibility without doing their due diligence. So I'm curious. I mean,
I don't know.
I just want to make
baseless or
sure
not.
because again,
I don't know if it's baseless or
sometimes you
not.
seem semi-fair, except
Maybe
for like
not
if
enough.
it's if it's within the peripheral of Katie Joy anywhere, there's no fairness there, and I get that. Like hate on, just be a hater. That's good, but outside of that peripheral, like do you look at your friend and say, "Oh shit, friend, you're."
What is going on with you? Like seriously, like what? Did I like hit a nerve or something? I mean, what did Katie Joy? Wait, what did you just say?
Doing the same thing, but Katie Joy again, without doing their due diligence. So I'm curious. I mean, is that I just want to make sure because again, sometimes you seem semi-fair, except for like if it's if it's within the peripheral of Katie Joy anywhere, there's no fairness there, and I get that. Like hate on, just be a hater. That's good, but outside of that peripheral, like do you look at your friend?
That's some funny shit because I think I catch more shit for being fair to her than not. I mean, I do give credit where credit is due. Just she rarely deserves credit. I don't know what to say there.
And say, "Oh shit, friend, you're doing the same things that I'm saying they shouldn't do." Like, oh God, that's terrible. The fuck, like just asking for a friend.
Okay, so because I find fault somewhere else, I am somehow at fault for not pointing it out everywhere. I mean, think about this. I am not the police of YouTube. I am not the police of word definitions like you are apparently. I'm not the policeman of what other creators do on their channel, not even the ones in which I speak to. So yeah, I mean, if you want to ask me my opinion on something, then you need to ask me a direct question and ask me what my opinion is. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do here. You seem to be searching awfully fucking hard for something to come at me for.
Just wondering, because when you accuse somebody of not being safe around kids,
and again, never said that.
Accuse somebody of discriminating, those feel like some really heavy
I never said
accusations.
that.
And I know that right? Because I heard you discuss in the stream recently that heavy accusations against a person can really do damage to their reputation. Isn't that what you said recently? Because that's what Katie did, right?
Heavy accusations again. What are you talking about? When did I say heavy accusations? All I said was, if you're going to be stating something as fact and making claims about it on a stream, and to the point where it could affect someone's reputation, then I feel like that the due diligence should be just a little bit higher than nothing. Is what I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what I said. That's what I said. Like, why are you reading all this other shit out of something that was never fucking said or even implied? Again, this is what I mean by when you lead with your bias.
Oh, so if Katie does it, it's absolutely horrendous.
What?
Your friend does it, it's totally okay. Is that what I'm hearing? Help me clear that up for me. I'm sure that you
cleared that up for me. How about you clear this up for me? Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. When was I talking about Katie doing shit or whatever? And what does that even matter? What was that entailing? What are you talking about? Like, oh my God. Like, can we just stick to one thing at a time? Like one subject at a time? I mean, you just seem to be jumping all over the place because you don't really have anything else to fucking say to me. I can't follow that. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sure that you will. Okay. All right. And then I think I just have one last thing to clear up for you. In your video, you said that, let me go to it. Okay. Hold on. I have to find it. Sorry. I'm not that great about sharing my screen. I'm not good at sharing my screen just yet. So,
gonna
and I did
flip
have
through
like
this
6
because
screens open. I should have probably made better notes with my
I'm
toasters,
not.
but it is what it is. Baron.
I'm not going to make comment about how she's not prepared or whatever because then I would be a fucking hypocrite. But she's not. But I mean, I get it. I understand it. I'm not giving her shit for it. But I'm going to skip through this.
9. Good. Okay.
Okay. Are we there?
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So we're going to listen to this one real quick. Here we go.
Is what it's the only danger to your family. The only threat to your family is your mouth. So let's get that straight. If you ever hear me on anything, make sure it's that statement right there. That is an absolute fact. She's threatening to take my channel down. So this is my last stream. If it cuts off in the middle, you know what happens. If I am going down, I'm going to make sure it's right there. And I'm going to make sure I say what I need to say. Girl, you got a lot of nerve. A lot of nerve. But you can go ahead and threaten me all you want. Don't even try.
Near tube top. Shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's really going. Okay.
Yeah, she's being ridiculous here. Did she just basically? I was gonna ask. Did she basically say that she was planning on trying to talk to Nonsense's parents?
No.
And
No,
what-
she didn't.
Is that my
I'm
understanding?
going to fast forward it because he needs to just clarify that is not what she said at all, which I agree with her. I wasn't in that chat, or else I would have.
This
In a person
she's
also.
all into investigation.
Who is?
So she's not seriously suggesting that she's referencing someone else doing it, not her. That's the whole point of it. What you want to hear.
Okay.
Okay. And I listen. And I mean, there were even people in the chat saying, then just go back and rewind.
Okay.
But even think up the punchline that I thought it was pretty clever. I don't know.
That's how I took it. I don't know though.
Because she thinks
Sorry,
that
we have to
Nonsense is
fast
brought
forward.
in
Hello.
So you got that part. Why didn't
for her to talk to their parents.
if she were talking about herself? The very fact that you took this literally, that tells me about, like, say if somebody had said this, say if Heels in the Air had said this about Molly, you probably would have taken it as a joke. You would have heard the sarcasm. Okay. You would have gotten the figuratively part of it. And you would have gotten seen that the whole point, because it's Veda talking about nonsense, then you might want to ask yourself why.
Yeah, no, if
I,
I
you
did
had
have been
zero-
rewound. I agree.
you just you wanted, and here's another thing too. Like,
Okay, here we go.
I get wrapped up or whatever in some sort of debate or discussion or whatever argument that your initial reaction to things is to hope that this fucked up thing you're hearing about someone else is true, because then it'll prove you're right that person's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is though, is that if that person's fucked up, then it's because, or it gets showed that way with a victim, with someone being the butt of the fucked upness, the target
What?
that feels
You know, it's
how
funny.
fucked up they are.
I need a wipe.
So
It's funny
try
to
to
hear
keep that
her.
in mind before you start wishing and hoping.
It's funny to hear her play this part, because I had re-recorded this part and I thought I had put it in, but I didn't I didn't realize it until after it was already uploaded. I'm like, I'm not fucking sitting through another hour and a half of waiting for this fucking shit to upload, let alone save again after I edit it out or whatever. So I just left my incoherent babbling part there in it. But what I was trying to say was that I get being so wrapped up in the debate, in the argument, that you want to be right, but it's important to not lose sight of the fact that if you are right in these horrible things that you were claiming are true about a person, then that means that this person has done these horrible things, and there are other people who have felt the repercussions or the brunt of these horrible things, and that's ultimately that's what you're hoping for. Which I agree. I did explain this very poorly, and I had re-recorded it, and I thought I put it in, but fuck.
That you're right and thinking the worst of someone.
I don't need to be right.
Because if they're the
I have
worst,
questions.
then the people around them are going to know it firsthand. And that's,
I would
it's not
imagine.
good.
It's funny though, because this wasn't directed toward you. So,
I would imagine.
Like, I'd rather be wrong.
Oh, well, I'd rather
fraud and his
do my
parents
research and be
raised
right
her.
the first
Started
time.
like a little, you know what I mean?
Just-
This.
what are you talking about? I'd rather do my research and be right the first time. What do you know? There was no first or second time. I'm just trying to point out how, like, I understand how you lose sight of these things when you're wrapped up in a debate or discussion, but it's important to remind yourself of this. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking? I feel it's important to do your research. Be right the first time. This isn't about research. This is about just not hoping that these horrible things you are claiming are true about a person are actually true. It's about hoping you're wrong.
Oh my God.
Okay.
But it's not about being right for you, huh? That's why you just do your research. Make sure you're right the first time, because it's not at all about being right.
All right. I just want to make that clear. I just thought that I was mishearing.
Okay. Again, it's these. You either wanted to hear that, or maybe I don't know. Maybe
Okay, I'm gonna have
only point. And I think that's all I really wanted to address on here. Real quick though, I also want to remind people that when Veda was saying these things that we just heard her say, she was speaking in response to nonsense. When what Veda said was, you would think that someone who adopted their sister's kids would be more sympathetic to someone who gave their child up. Someone who adopted their sister's kids to nonsense's threat to have Veda's channel taken down for quote unquote like talking about her kids or whatever.
Okay.
When what Veda said was, you would think that someone who adopted their sister's kids would be more sympathetic to someone who gave their child up for adoption or let their child be put up for adoption. Whatever.
I would strongly encourage you to go watch what your friend says. So let me give you a bit of a preview here. Okay.
What did I miss then?
Because that is not the only thing she has said. And also to clarify, Nonsense didn't say she was just going to go take down her channel. She said if she kept talking about her kids, she would privacy strike her channel. That's what she said. And when you're talking about somebody's kids, that should not be okay.
No, I actually heard that part of the stream where Nonsense said, I'm coming for your channel. I heard that. That is what she said.
Period. But while you claim the only thing you've heard her say, just because you didn't hear her say it, doesn't mean that she didn't say it.
Okay,
just
then
putting that out there.
Let's hear her say it.
All right. So let me take you in and let you watch this stream. Okay, hold on. Let's switch our stream that we're sharing from.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This, yes, she does. And harasses, always sitting online talking about how worried about everybody else's fucking life when she needs to get one. Oh, where the fuck is her knowledge or info about this situation? Some of us actually watched the McRae's before the crises. She doesn't know anything about them. She's fucking stupid. She's stupid.
Okay. So did you hear that? The chat, right? And then you're going to say, well, she was just reading the comments.
Wait, what?
Or info about everybody else's fucking life. And she does. And harasses, always sitting.
Here we go.
She has special needs children and behaves like this. Yes, she does. And harasses, always sitting online talking about how worried about everybody else's fucking life when she needs to get one. Oh, where the fuck is her knowledge or info about this situation? Some of us actually watched the McRae's before the crises. She doesn't know anything.
What? Okay, yeah, she read the comment. Sure, she read the comment, and then she agreed with the comment. Either way, what she agreed with is that she has special needs kids, and she acts like this online. I don't know what exactly that means, but that's what she said. That's what she agreed with. What are you talking about? Like, first of all, why does anyone even know anything about her kids? Like, why is this knowledge out there? That's what I take issue with. But whatever. Still, she didn't say anything about her kids. But special needs, that could mean a million things. What the fuck? What are you getting at? And if Nonsense doesn't want people discussing her kids, which, what did she discuss really? Just that they have special needs or whatever. Then perhaps Nonsense might not want to put this information out there, because you can't control what people talk about when you put the information out there. You can't insist that nobody talk about the things that you put out there for this purpose of being viewed and heard. Think about that. This isn't even like just something you just said into the air and it just fell in someone's ears. You are putting this up there on YouTube for the specific purpose to be viewed and heard by as many people as possible. And then you want to sit here and say, how dare you talk about that? How dare you talk about the shit that I put out there for your viewing pleasure? How dare you do that? I'm going to come for your channel. That's fucking nuts. And you want to sit here and argue on behalf of that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anyone should be talking about her kids, but I also don't think that anyone should know anything about her fucking kids either. So that's nuts. That's nuts that was your like big gotcha fucking moment. Like, you didn't hear her say this. What the fuck did she say? Wow. Like, these delicate sensibilities of you people, like, you guys need to rein this shit back. You really do. You need to develop thicker skin or something, or just realize that you are not entitled to say whatever the fuck you want on your channel and then think that you have a right to dictate whether or not anyone talks about what you've put out there on your channel. You don't have that right. You don't. You're not entitled to that. You don't get to dictate what other people talk about, especially when it's shit that you fucking put out there for them to talk about. I mean, come on. Really? We have to have this conversation?
About them. She's fucking stupid. She's stupid.
Okay. So did you hear that?
I heard
the
it.
chat, right? And then you're going to say, well, she was just reading the comment. But do you hear her actually talk about what the fuck does her any bit of her kids have anything to do with it? But that's okay to you, right?
They don't. That's why she didn't continue talking about it. She just read the comment and said, yeah. And then she immediately changed the subject and said something else completely different, not at all referencing the kids or parenting or whatever. That's exactly what she did. Okay. Okay, let me tell you something. I had this issue with another content creator it was a little while ago, it was a couple years ago maybe. But she had read a comment that someone said about me on her live. And then she accepted that as fact. And she had a visceral reaction to said comment as she then took it as fact and then elaborated on it. My issue with her was not that she read the comment. Okay? If she had read the comment, and even if she didn't dispute it, she just read the comment and then immediately changed the subject. My issue would be solely with the person who left the comment, not with the person reading the comment. But because of her behavior after the fact, that's why I took issue with her. So let me just say that I would have loved to have seen that content creator react in the way Vanna did just now. I would have loved to see her read the comment and just like, yeah, and then just jumped right onto something else. That would have been fine with me. I would have much preferred that. I would have been happy to see that. And then I could have taken it up with the person who left the comment. But that's not what happened. So I don't see what the fuck the problem is here. I really don't. And again, if your problem is that you even read the comment, she just said, yeah, and then she immediately changed the subject. What is your problem with that exactly? Because someone stated something that information that Nonsense herself had put out there. And then they stated their opinion about Nonsense's behavior online. And that's it. So what is it you wish to control there? Because Nonsense does have the power to control what information she herself puts out there. That's all within her control. So I'm not sure what other control you wish to have here. Really.
Oh, she didn't say anything that she should get striked for. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. I stand behind anybody. That is against TOS. It is against TOS.
How so? Please point out to me the TOS that's against. How? What? And what is special needs kids? There's nothing identifying there. It's not defaming. It's not even specific. And it's information that Nonsense herself has made the content of her channel at times. So really, what is against TOS there? I don't get it. But is it just because y'all don't like it? I mean, boy, you must really be a miserable person on YouTube then, because there's got to be a lot of shit out there you guys don't like.
And let's take that out of it, right? Let's just take that out of there. How about just on a moral and ethical standards?
Oh
why
my
y'all
God.
swear, I'm not, you swear I say I'm the moral police.
I don't give a shit if she's got an issue with it. That's not my problem. That's not my concern. My problem is that I clearly stated was her threatening to come for Vanna's channel as a result of that. That's using and abusing the reporting feature for her own personal gratification. That's my issue. I don't care if she has a problem with it. She can bitch and complain about all she wants, whatever. That's her right. You do you. But when you're going to use this system that's in place to protect people, like legitimately protect people, and you want to use that because you are pissed off that someone said something you don't like, that's what I take issue with. And I thought I clearly made that known. But again, that comprehension thing.
Police. I'm absolutely not the moral police at all. Like, I fuck up all the time. I just happen to own it, unlike anybody else at this point in time on your side. But whatever. Anywho, but what I will say is, she absolutely, and this is just
there's only one side I'm on. That's my side, my personal side. I may be aligned or I may agree with people on certain issues or certain events or whatever, but we're not all collectively on one side. We're all each on our own sides. Just sometimes those sides happen to mesh a little bit, In fact, I would even be willing to bet that sometimes your side, my side, even mesh a little bit on things. Yeah, because that's what happens with humans. They agree on some things and they don't on others. So there's really no side, but just my own personal side. So you want to sit there and say, anyone on your side? No, no one knows. No one is over here on Aaron Island. Okay. Only Aaron is here on Aaron Island. My island may pass by other islands and we may trade shit here and there or whatever, but then we move on. That's what happens. My side.
The first example, when I went looking, that was the first example of her speaking on her nieces being special needs that I found. If you'd like, let me know. I could make an entire montage of comments that she has made. I could post that video and tag you in it if you'd like. I could
Why would you
absolutely
even
arrange
do
that for
that?
you. But
I mean, if the whole point is to stop people from talking about her kids, why would you just fucking amplify it? That is, oh, that's right, because it's all about being right, isn't it? That's what it's about.
see, most people on YouTube, social media, they kind of feel like kids are off, they're kind of off limits. That there's never a time where kids should be mentioned when it comes to you want to talk shit about somebody, their content, their what.
She didn't even talk shit about the kids. Why are you continuing this? Why are you making this such a big, important part of the stream when it's not even there? And I agree, kids should be off limits, including by their own parents.
Ever. I think you would agree that's totally fine. There was no context behind that at all. And I'm leaving the timestamp up so you can go and look at it yourself. There was no context at all that her nieces needed to be brought up at all. So while you claim it,
Probably why Vada didn't bring them up. Because you can say whatever you want. She did not bring them up. She read the comment, but she didn't put the comment there. She didn't make the comment appear in the chat. She was interacting with the chat and she was reading the chat comments. She didn't bring it up. Sorry. But either way, she said the comment and then she just moved right the fuck on. She knew better than to stay there on that subject.
it was just, she was crying because Nonsense was going to take down her channel because she said as an adult.
No. See, you need to fucking listen better. I just simply pointed out that the things we just heard Vada saying when I said this in my last video, the things that we had just heard then on Vada saying were in response to her having threatened her channel. I didn't say that it was understandable. I didn't say that it was excused. I didn't say I agreed with any of it. I just pointed that out because that was not being pointed out. And I thought that was important to keep in mind. So I don't know why you jump to a lot of conclusions without anything leading you there but your own bias. I hope you know that because I didn't.
Or as an adopter, she should be able to understand. No, it had nothing to do with that. It
Wait,
had
what?
the fact that adoptee, or she was crying because Nonsense was going to take down her channel because she said as an adoptee or as an adopter, she should be able to understand. No, it had nothing to do with that. It had the fact to do with she can't keep the kid's name out of her. Can't keep the kids mention of the kids.
Oh, she didn't say the kid's name, but you see what I mean by you leading with your bias and jumping to these conclusions? You corrected yourself, but you are behaving as though she did say the kids' names. Like this is this
Out of her mouth. It's not okay. It's not okay. Kids shouldn't be involved in this in
and
any
why
which
are
what
you
way.
dragging this out?
At all, ever.
But you're loving dragging this out. You're loving making this into something it's not. You're loving putting words in her mouth, like names even almost. Move on. Be the change you wish to see and move the fuck on.
There's plenty of content within the content that everyone does that kids should not be mentioned. I did a poll. You should go back to it. I did a community post asking people just around the community randomly. My stuff is not blocked.
You invested so much into this theory of yours that you did a poll. What did you expect the poll to say? I mean, of course, people are going to say no kids should not be brought up. I mean, we're all kind of in agreement on that. So it just seems like a redundant thing to do and a complete waste of your time, really.
Everybody is welcome. Some people, are you telling me because Nonsense put out the truth and facts with receipts and y'all got mad because to this day you guys still think that she talked to Katie? Y'all are about to be sad during this receipt battle royale. And listen,
she herself said that she talked to Katie. What are you talking about? I mean, what did we say? What did I say? I mean, you're coming at me, I feel like, for shit that other people said, and you don't even bother to learn the things I said. But I do know that Nonsense had admitted to talking to Katie. So
I do need you to make me a promise, EKC. After the receipt battle royale, I really do need you to check on Veda daily, because I am concerned she may not, be well enough days afterwards. It's going to be a strong ass whooping. But I'm just putting it out there.
I wonder. I mean, I plan to be there. I don't know if I'll be up on stream. I don't think I will, because you'd have to agree to that. And frankly, I don't see that happening. But I will be helping provide receipts. I don't really know what to provide for, though. I mean, I know that you guys are working on some agreement ahead of time, but I don't know. But just remember, you said that she's the one who's going to have to be checked in on.
I want you to check on your girl, because I absolutely go with the purpose of resolution, but along with resolution comes a lot of receipts and a lot of truth and a lot of facts, and that's not going to go so well. You know what I mean? So, but I'm here for it. 100%, 10 toes down. I'm here for it. Still stand by everything I said last week. Absolutely. But I'm confused why you continue to make these claims over and over and over again, as if you know what Veda has said, what Veda has done, what this content creator did, what this content creator did. And we shouldn't be talking about it if it's not verified, but you just talked about it. And then you defended the fact that you talked about it.
You see what I mean? You take something that's said, you take a discussion being had, and then you move it like 10 paces over it into an area where nothing's even being talked about. And you turn it into that. Like, why can't you stay on the topic at hand? Why do you have to try to jump from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another? Like, if this is true, then this must be true, then that must be true, and then that must be true, and this is where we're at. Like, it's a logical fallacy, isn't it? Like, in debate and philosophy, I don't know what it is. I have a real hard time remembering the names of the fallacies, but I do recognize them often. If anyone knows what the illogical fallacy is, like, if this must be true, then this must be true, this must be true, whatever. I'm kind of curious. But that's exactly what you're doing. That is exactly what you're doing. So, I mean, and like, even listening to you up on Veda's stream the other night, like, that's exactly what you did there too. And you turned that discussion about this one thing, and she did, for some reason, let you take control of it, and you ran it way off the fucking course into something that wasn't even relevant. And that's probably why she wasn't prepared, because she wasn't over there in the land of redundancy. She was here in the land of where things that matter exist. So, but hopefully you don't try to do that again. I mean, hopefully she doesn't let you do that again. I'm over here in chat, so I don't know. She has to have goalpost strapped to her back. Yeah. Gaslighting to me. Oh, hi, Veda. I don't see you, but I see someone talking to you, so I'm guessing you're here. I take offense to Cujo Beck mocking disabled when she has special needs kids. She was mocking the disabled? Get out of here. That to me screams to me that she doesn't treat her kids as humans. I challenge Cujo Beck to apologize. No shit. I didn't know that. The most hilarious thing to me, the most hilarious thing is me and Nunya spoke private about this, and she knows exactly what I meant. Aaron, this is absolutely on purpose. Don't even worry about it. Oh, I know. Aaron Island. Wouldn't they have to strike from their channel, though, not the parents? I don't know. Striked. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. How many times have they talked about Molly's son? I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I mean, Molly puts her son out there. Her son has appeared, in the background or whatever on her stream, and she talks about him a lot. So I don't take issue really with people discussing that, so long as it's in the context of what's been put out there, But yeah, had she not been doing that and they spoke on him anyway, then it's different. Thank you, Amanda T. Nonsense most definitely said multiple times she will take her channel. You know what? I'm going to have to wrap this up in a few minutes and get dressed for work, but I'm going to pull that up real quick because I know that that's exactly what happened. So I don't know if Nunya says any more shit or not, but it sounds like this was at the end of her list of complaints or whatever regarding me. So I think I addressed them all. Where the hell? Her channel doesn't come up. Why doesn't her channel come up? Did she change her handle or something? Is her channel taken down? There we go. I don't know which one it was.
You guys don't, if you haven't noticed something about.
So we'll look up transcript. Channels, it's only 8. Okay. Getting rid of your channel. Your channel, you're talking about anything on your channel. Once again, channel, you continue to talk about my, okay, I'm thinking it might be there. Wait a minute, it might be there, it might be this one here. Let's see. Try 724.
Getting rid of your channel. And that's a guarantee.
There it is. Okay, we'll start here though.
So want your channel to play your games on, and you want to, and yes, I'm pulling a Molly because I've had it. You're gonna stop with my real life. You're going to stop because I'm not even giving you any energy. You've been fighting with somebody. I don't know. You claim that you're fighting with nonsense. Bitch, I haven't even given you any attention. This is the only attention you're going to get from me. You mentioned my minor children one more time, your channel's gone. That's 100% guaranteed. 100% because I did my background and I'm sick of it. You got plenty of videos that I can take in an instant. I'm not playing with you. Stop playing with my real life. Anytime you guys are corrected with the facts, and because you don't even know the foundation of this story, it is blatantly obvious. And by the way, bitch, you just signed yourself up to be the perfect fall girl. Have at it. I can't say that we didn't tell you, but I'm.
So once again, Nunya, it looks like you've been corrected. She did, in fact, threaten to come for her channel. She didn't threaten to strike it. She threatened to come for her fucking channel. Once again, I mean, here's the thing. I find it incredibly stupid that I even have to debate with you over somebody else's words. Like, why isn't, like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, why are you so invested in whether or not Nonsense did or didn't say something? Why are you trying to argue her way out of being accountable for the things she said? Why do you care if she's the one who's saying these things? Okay. I mean, you could speak up and say, no, that's not what she said and play it. But you're looking to have an argument over this and a debate. Like, you care what people think she said, to the point that you are ignoring and excusing the actual things she says. That's a little weird to me. I mean, does Nonsense even care? I mean, I would think Nonsense would have this discussion if she cared. So I'm to assume that she really doesn't care and it's just you. But I don't even think it's so much about Nonsense, where I think it's more or less just about, you don't want us to be right. You don't want us to get anything correct if we're talking about anything that you are involved in, or or you're just loosely related to, whatever. Like, you don't want Molly to be right. You don't want us to be right about Molly and the things we say. You want it all to be wrong. You want to be right. You want to, I'm not even sure you want to be right so much, though I do think you do. I think it's more or less about you being right about Molly being wrong. That's what I think this comes down to. And that's not a healthy way to look at shit, especially when you want to put yourself up in some sort of pedestal of morality and nobility or whatever. Because you're invested in the wrong things here, if that's the case. So, I mean, I have no doubt that Molly has said some fucked up shit. I've even agreed that some of the shit she said has been fucked up. I'm the first one to say it when asked. So, I mean, I'm not that invested in it. I'm not here. My satisfaction does not come from whether or not other people view Molly favoritively or not. My satisfaction just comes from myself. Why can't yours come from yourself? why do you have to be so invested in this shit? Why does it have to be a certain way? Why do we have to be wrong? I mean, these are serious questions. I don't need to know the answers. I mean, I don't know the answers. They're not even redundant questions, but I don't need to know the answers. I just think that these are maybe questions you might want to ask yourself. So I'm going to check chat here real quick. Wait, did that? Yeah, that showed up on stream. Okay. She thinks she has ownership over the McRae and biases, only her opinions and thoughts, etc. When people don't care, when people don't care, the public just thinks parents should know if their kid is alive or not. Exactly. That's why when she was up on Vada's channel, the stream the other night, she went up there to argue, to debate about a post that Letitia put up on her profile page, like way back when. That was her reasoning for being up there. Like that was her point, her pathway to show she's right and Vanna's wrong, is to argue whether or not a post went up on Letitia's profile on Facebook like 10 months ago. That's not even what this is about anymore. Like we're over that. We are way beyond that. You want to keep arguing fraud raiser or whatever, then that's an argument you're going to have with yourself. We don't even care about that anymore. We showed the proof that we were presented. We're satisfied with what we've seen. We don't need you to agree. We're good. What we're arguing now is recent behavior. Recent, not past. We don't need to rely on past shit. We can hold our feet just fine on the ground right now on the recent shit that we're arguing. We don't need to look for shit and cherry pick shit from the past to give us some sort of, I don't know, levity or whatever. Leverage, I think is where I was looking for. Anyway, our problem, our gripe, is the fact that she is purposely going out of her way to avoid confirming this for his parents. That's fucked up. How about we stick on that? How about we stick on that? Like, we don't care about anything else. We just care about that. So, yeah, but by all means, you keep fighting redundancy here. I don't know. But all right, on that note, I'm going to get going. Yeah, they do seem to be getting worse. I don't know. I just want to see, make sure I'm not tagged in anything here because I haven't looked that thoroughly. Wait, what's that? Okay, autistic shill. I read that one. And that's it. All right. Okay. On that note, I'm going to take off. I got to go to work. So, if I stream again, it's probably not going to be till tomorrow night. I get out late tonight, like real late. And then I go in and work all day tomorrow. But I don't know, I'm out at like, I don't even know what time, 10 or something, 9, I forget. So, all right. See you guys tomorrow, probably. Have a good day. I hope this helped you, nonsense. I hope it helped. Maybe this time you can pay attention. So, bye.